Hello, Pamela Spence, medical herbalist here. These are my clinic notes for the week. Today's feeling like a bit of a frustrating day, really. Just one of those days where, it's already 20 to 4. I had one no-show and one cancellation for clinic this morning, which meant really I should have been done about 3 hours ago. And I've only just finished. I mislaid stuff, I couldn't find stuff, I dropped stuff, one of those. And so, because as we were saying last week, in Scotland we're in week 5 now of school holidays. Gosh, we've only got 3 to go. I can't believe that. And in England, you guys are just going into week 1 or week 2, depending on where you live. We were talking about those boundaries. I found that when today didn't go smoothly, it was very easy to become grumpy mum in between and lose that focus between when I'm meant to be working and when I'm meant to be off and with family. So just again to reiterate that really it was very easy for me to do that, but what brought me back to it really was looking at, right, what is mission critical today? What do I have to get done? And sticking to that. And so once I have done this and uploaded it, I will be off being mum. And actually I'm off next week. We are going away for the week to a little forest cabin in the middle of nowhere. So there won't be any clinic notes next week. So this week has been interesting. People a bit discombobulated like me, trying to deal with, the breaks in routine, which, like I said last week, and if you didn't see last week's, it's really, really important that we break routine right now. We have to build our emotional resilience for the autumn and the winter, and we can't really do it in the ways we normally would, but it's really important we do it in some way, even if you can't get away. So go and listen to last week's. If your hay fever is still causing you a problem, the last couple I've mentioned some hay fever tactics there. This week I wrote an article I wrote an email to my email list. If you are not on my email list, I'd love to have you. Just pop over to my website, pamelaspence.co.uk, and you'll get a pop-up and you can sign up there for a free guide, and that will put you on my email list. Or if you're on Instagram right now watching this, just hop to my bio and you'll see my link tree, and you can just sign up there for the free download for herbal teas, and that will pop you on my mailing list. But I wrote an email about this newly coined health condition, shall we call it, which is called Subhealth. And it's about the fact that thousands and thousands of people every year are living in a state which is not healthy, but it is not ill. It has now been named a third state of subhealth. And the figures on that are pretty astounding. So they did some research in Japan, and they found that thousands and thousands and thousands of people, the people they talked to were between ages 12 and, now I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was late adulthood anyway. And it's interesting that they chose to include teenagers in that. And they asked them about their stress levels, and the response was higher, very high, with a huge majority. And then it looked, the paper that I read looked through the key symptoms in the in the US and the UK, and the key thing in the UK being chronic pain. And so I was just talking a little bit about that, and it seems to have created quite a stir. So I've had lots of people get in touch by email, people sending me private messages. A national magazine picked up on it and have asked me to write a piece on it. Some of the consultancy work I'm doing, I shared it with them, and they were like, oh my goodness, this is huge. And I really think it's not me that coined the phrase. I just happened to read it and it really hit me too. And I think it's kind of hit a nerve at the moment. So wherever you're watching this, if you go back a couple of posts, the one where I'm talking about, so Wednesday of this week and Tuesday of this week, where I'm talking about forest bathing as a thing, which is an antidote really to this rather shocking situation of living in subhealth, which none of us want to be in subhealth. And I also want to say, you know, I get so many people come to me and they say, oh, I never thought anything could be done with this. I mean, I spoke to someone the other day who's 42 with terrible hip pain, and she said, oh, I thought I was just getting older. I'm like, no, you know, women, if your periods hurt and they're heavy and you're flooding and all the rest of it, it's not normal. We can do stuff. If you're in pain, it's not normal. We can do stuff. Yes, there will be situations where, of course, that, you know, there's not a lot else can be done, but rarely, even if physically we can't help, we can help often emotionally dial down your cortisol inflammatory responses and make it more tolerable. Please, for goodness sake, don't put up with stuff because you think that there's no other way, because there often is. So get in touch if you need help. However, I will say that next week I won't be around. I will be off. You will see my post still coming up because my lovely VA Mary does that for me. So they are automated or done for me. I will not be here. I'm going to take that last week off before it's our last little holiday as a family before we get ready for schools going back. So I hope that wherever you are, you haven't had as frustrating a day as me. I hope you got through your work efficiently and quickly, which is anything but what I did today. But I've reset and I know what I'm going to do now going forwards. And I wish you a good rest of the week. Take care.